Hey, Drew here with Drew T. Jackson Coaching, Speaking, and Training. I hope you're having a great Monday morning. It's a little gloomy here in Fort Worth, Texas today, and but we're surviving here and moving forward. And today I'm kicking off a new series. We're going to be in for a few weeks here on leadership gold. So these are gold nuggets. This is a book I've mentored people through many times. It's a wonderful teaching, wonderful training that I want to share with you here on the channel. As small business owners out there, I want to equip you on how to best lead yourself and lead your team. And a lot of it has to do with your mindset. And so it's great that we're kicking off with this first gold nugget today, which is if it's lonely at the top, you're not doing something right. If it's lonely at the top, you're not doing something right. And many of us have maybe been taught over the years that it's lonely at the top. You know, when you're at the top, it's just going to be a lonely place, and that's part of the sacrifice. But loneliness it's not a leadership issue. It's really a personality issue. It has nothing to do with your position in the organization. It has to do with your personality and how you interact with others, and how you interact with your peers. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a small business owner, and it's just you, and you really don't have a team yet, well, like I've said in other videos before, your team are the people that you interact with, are your subcontractors, are the other business owners that you're connecting with. And if you're not connecting with other business owners, then you're not doing it right. And I just had this lived out again for me today with a friend that I work out of a co-office space. I love the interaction, being in a place with other entrepreneurs, other small business owners. And I have a friend who's a small business owner, entrepreneur, that he is getting ready to submit his first $1 million contract. And as you can imagine, that's a big deal. That's a huge proposal, and you want that to go really well. Like, you want a signed deal with that thing. And so he is, thinking through and rethinking and having his legal team look at his stuff. But he's going through that process of thinking through the whole challenge. Well, one thing that he did, and I commend him on this, is he came up to me and we chatted about it a little bit. And he shared this process that he's going through with this massive proposal. Well, what was he doing there? Well, he was moving outside of that comfort zone of kind of keeping it all inside and just managing it himself and doing his own thing. And instead he came to me, and we were able to talk through it, and I was able to ask him some questions and hopefully help him out with his confidence and what he's doing moving forward. So if it's lonely at the top, it's not a positional thing. It's really a personality thing. You have to want to engage in relationships with other people. And so I have a couple words of advice for you that I want to give you. Number one, I want to encourage you to avoid positional thinking. A position or a person who takes positional thinking approach, or let me say this, a relational approach. If you take a relational approach to what you're doing, then you'll never be lonely in leadership. And that's why I love to build the team. I love building teams and working with team members because we're in it together. We're moving forward with others. I have someone that I can say, hey, what a great win. I can high five them when we're doing great. We can encourage each other when things are challenging. Now, here's what's going to happen if you build a team. Leader, you're going to have to slow down. You're going to have to slow down so that your team can catch up. And I had this happen with a team member. We had a meeting set up recently, and because of some personal challenges, they were not able to make the meeting. And that slowed down a deadline that we wanted to make. These were internal deadlines. We're not letting anybody down by not meeting these deadlines. They were internal, but it slowed the process down. But I'll tell you, every time it's worth having the team, and I do it 10 out of 10 times, knowing that there will be slowdowns at times. But here's the key: I'm going to multiply my efforts by having a team, and I'm not only going to multiply my efforts, I'm going to enjoy the process so much more if I have a team. So number two is realize the downsides of, this is just a word of wisdom, realize the downsides of success and failure. Success and failure have downsides. Success can lead you to believe that you don't need to interact with anybody anymore. You don't need to interact with any of your friends anymore. because you're so successful and they aren't going to be able to relate. Well, okay, at times that may be true. You may, in this personal growth journey, and I've talked about it, you may need to change your friends. But here's the key: change your friends. Friends, still have friends. Don't just cut off relationships and not move forward with any other friends because you think, well, nobody is good enough to hang with me, or I'm only going to hang out with these mentors that I talk to, an hour a month and kind of learn from them. No. You need to have friends. You need to have friends that you can have over for dinner, that you can enjoy their company, that you can build a team with if they're your team members, that you can go through life with. Success will lead you to believe that you don't need them. And then failure will keep you from building relationships because you don't want to have to share with people when you messed up or when things didn't go how you wanted them to go. Things didn't go how you planned. Those two things, success and failure, those can trip you up and keep you from building those relationships that will be vital to your long-term success. So I want to encourage you. If it's lonely at the top, you're not doing something right. So I want you to change your mantra from "it's lonely at the top" to "let's grow together." Let's grow together. Let's build something great together. Let's do this together. So I want to encourage you today with your small business, build something with some other people. Build your team, get some others on your team, small business owner, and you will be grateful you did. That's a leadership nugget for this week. I hope that helps you, encourages you, and I will see you on Wednesday, and we'll talk about building your team. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.